welcome to the channel. It's the Eradicator here, and today we are going to have a little bit of a patch report from inside Star Citizen. Star Citizen Alpha 3.13 is just around the corner, and Jared is kind enough to tell us everything that is going to come up in the patch. So here we go. Let's have a look at all the details right here. But before we do that, guys, of course, a quick reminder of this month's giveaway, as I'm giving away $150 in RSI gift cards. All you have to do is to make sure to subscribe to my newest channel, The Eradicators. The link is in the description down below. Also, supporters of the channel will have access to a C2 Hercules with LTI on Discord. A big shout out as a result to Greg Lassaigne, Raven4, JK, and Arthur Isaac for becoming my latest Patreon and Joe members. You guys are awesome. All right, well, let's get started here with our patch report, and we're going to start right here with Jared talking to us about the reputation system.
First up, we gotta start with the reputation system we just explored, which looks to enhance every feature before it by adding progression and rewards while serving as the ground floor for nearly every feature to come, ready to plug in and add advancement and goodies galore to each new aspect as they come online.
Now, there was a very interesting featurette about the reputation system from Jerry here in this episode of Inside Star Citizen, 8 minutes long, very comprehensive. I thought I would be making a video, but it's already very comprehensive in itself. What I really like is that after some time, you know, your reputation drifts. So if you max out the reputation, but you don't do those missions anymore, you're going to lose some reputation. And the idea that each and every single action that you are going to have in the game in the future, not with this tier is going to focus on missions in 3.13, but in the future every single action that you're going to have will affect your reputation, I think is quite fantastic. And it makes sense because, you know, you never know, there could be rumors about you, NPCs will talk, right? And that is how it's going to affect your reputation, whether you fly, you bump into someone, that is, or even the way you dress. Apparently Konstantin Hurston is a snub, Jared said. That was hilarious, right? And I think that this really heralds some really bright future enforced for the game, and I'm looking forward to experiencing that in 3.13.
Ready to plug in and add advancement and goodies.
What I like is it's not just NPC mission givers, but also you also have organizations inside the game that will also affect your reputation. You can see Bounty Hunters, Crusader, Hurston, Northrok, and Von. That is just very basic, or obviously with just what we have in 3.13 around the standard system. But as we are going to have more systems, that is of course going to evolve. For example, when we're going to have Pyro, we can be sure that there's going to be Geno threat
galore to each new aspect as they come online. In addition to the reputation system, Alpha 3.13 brings with it several expansions and revisions to existing assets and locations, beginning with our new drive-in and sinkhole entrances. Oh
my gosh, did you see how big this is? And this is going to herald more missions in Star Citizen Alpha 3.13. We were told yesterday on Spectrum officially that we would have new cave missions. We've been knowing that on the channel, of course. So we're going to have assassination missions, which are going to be the criminal ones. We're going to have the regular FPS missions, where we're going to have to kill all the NPCs, and the bounty hunting mission, where one particular NPC will have to die in those caves. Really looking forward to that. And again, this will be played intensively on this channel in 3.13.
For cave systems, providing new opportunities to explore with ground vehicles.
Oh my god, did you see how fast that Gladius is flying? Let's have a look again at how fast that Gladius is flying in that cave. That gives you an impression of scale here, how grander, how big those caves are going to be in 3.13.
New opportunities to explore with ground vehicles.
Look at that.
Spacecraft alike.
I mean, that could even open the gate to racing in caves, which is going to be absolutely insane, but surely is going to be a challenge for some of the top guns or top pilots in the verse that we have right now.
New asteroids created with our refined process for more variety and less potato-y, and the same great danger of crashing into.
Wow, that is true, and these asteroids look so much more refined with better textures, and hopefully they will be also less buggy too. Definitely do give that impression of danger here in those gas clouds that we didn't necessarily have, and also it's going to get also a different feel because we've had the same asteroids in 0.9 alpha 0.9. So finally these asteroids are going to bring some changes, and they are also going to pave the way for future features of the game, like the Iron Halo, for example.
Non-commercial overlays for existing refineries designed to bring a more industrialized look while minimizing some of the excessive branding elements currently found on some stations.
Well, that is not really, in my opinion, this roadmap padding is just they're removing some panels to make them of those stations a little bit less flashy. That's not much of a big deal, but it's there. Quite frankly, I would rather have seen the new missions in the roadmap rather than this. I mean, it wouldn't be the first time we would have new missions in the roadmap. If you remember, back in 3.5, we actually had the ArcCorp delivery missions in the roadmap, so the other missions about caves should have been in the roadmap versus this, in my opinion, but I'm just nitpicking.
As well as a wrap-up to the polished revisions of every planet and moon in the Stanton system.
Oh my goodness, did you see this is aerial, guys? And this is looking so much better than anything we are seeing right now in 3.12. That is really, look at it's so shiny, but at the same time looks like a place that is going to be dangerous and gonna have to watch out for what you're doing here, and make sure that you have proper equipment when you get in there. It looks like a scorching, burning hell, which it is. I mean, it's over 200 degrees Celsius over there.
And several quarters ago, improving the overall look.
And there is Yela again. There, that is definitely looking better compared to what we have now, and the game needs to look better. The game needs to do better. It still does have some graphical glitches. I was flying over Selling the other day, and everything looks pixelized from the orbit. That is just not something that Star Citizen can do right now, especially with Elite Dangerous Odyssey being around the corner. The game needs to step up in terms of graphics.
And feel of everything from Aberdeen to Yela. There's also new mission types scattered throughout Stanton, including quantum-sensitive and timed multi-drop deliveries similar to those first introduced during our Xenothreat event.
Yes, these missions were extremely exciting. I loved taking those boxes from one place to another, while at the same time being very careful about where I would be going, how I would be traveling, and this is coming up in the game. That is wonderful. I just hope that these delivery missions are also going to be between planets. I think that we were told that they would be, but this remains to be confirmed. Of course, right, I'm not an evil caddy, but it remains to be confirmed, and I guess it will be when it gets to Wave 1.
Multiple additions from the actor feature team, like the new stagger force reactions, the object push-pull trolleys scattered throughout the system.
Looks like they had more fun here with those trolleys. Obviously, I'm not so sure if this is going to be very useful, because we have a lot of rocks, we have a lot of steps, stairs, right? So we're gonna have to make sure that these areas are places where we have ramps and we can move the cargo boxes from one place to another. But I could see them useful. For example, if you use the tractor beam, you have several boxes, put all of the boxes on the trolley, push the trolley, and then use the tractor beam to push it, to put everything in your ship. Why not? But I still think I'm not so sure if this is going to be very useful or not. Maybe they're just using that for physics testing. Maybe, as we can see, they're having a lot of fun. They're having a lot of fun in the verse in their playing test environment. But I'm not so sure if we're going to be using those a lot when we are actually playing the game.
The system and mounted guns. They still tell me we can't put on trolleys.
All right, well, this one is going. These are going to be very dangerous. We know that players are going to be able to use them. If NPCs will be able to use them, this is going to make the use of ground vehicle far more relevant, because these are going to shred infantry, as you are seeing here in this picture. But if we are in vehicles, then perhaps those vehicles will be able to shred it. Of course, the tank is going to be overkill, but maybe this could be a good use for the Ursa rover or even the Cyclone MT. I guess we'll see.
Can't or won't, Richard Tyrer. There are several new vehicle features coming your way in Alpha 3.13, beginning with the long-awaited arrival of docking between the Merlin and Constellation. Yeah.
That's about time. It's about time it's coming. Merlin owners have been waiting for that forever. The Merlin is one of the oldest ships that's ever been sold in Star Citizen back in 2012. This is also a feature that was announced back in those days. We were seeing that Merlin. We were thinking, okay, what is that? Why can't we use it? Finally, we'll be able to. And the Merlin has got its own fans, right? So I suppose that some people are buying constellations just for the Merlin and this particular ability, and we can be sure that we'll be able to see that in this on this channel, because in this channel we also have fans of the Merlin
and Constellation. Yes, no longer will that ship in the back just be permanently attached to your butt. We've all been there, right? Afterwards, ship-to-station docking will roll out in a subsequent 3.13x patch later this quarter to allow for some additional testing and polish. We're trying to avoid scratching the paint on our 890s as much as you are. Speaking of which, the first version of Wear and Dirt is coming with the new Vehicle Visual Degradation system, not only adding our first systemic use of the system, but allowing players to finally wash some of their spaceships when they go for repairs.
Finally, yes, this is great because it's a bit weird that all those spaceships look brand new all the time, they're a little bit shiny, and it's going to be also very interesting to see where which ship has been, just as a kind of trivial type of indication, or maybe in the future when we're going to have bounty hunting mission, maybe this is going to be useful as of clues. For example, you see, oh, this guy has seen this player that you're looking for. Oh, but you can see on the paint, for example, which specific color might be from which specific planet, and this could be maybe giving you indications of where a bounty hunter can be. This can perhaps open future possibilities in terms of gameplay.
Mining ships are getting another layer of customizability with the addition of mining laser subcomponents, allowing players to customize their laser experience to a greater degree than with consumables alone.
I like the idea that we can choose between consumables or permanent attachments to your ship that are going to perhaps be not as interesting as consumables, but they are going to be more reliable. Giving the player choice is always very important, while at the same time giving incentives to go back to stations and maybe look for more powerful items. Very well thought out here, I think.
Owners of the 600i, 890 Jump, Hammerhead, Reclaimer, Mercury Star Runner, and Anvil Carrack will now be able to display their unique ship names for all to see in Alpha 3.13, while the feature is expected to roll out to additional ships in subsequent patches.
Alright, please let me know, guys, what is the name of your ship? This is going to be the giveaway question for the $150, $50 if you subscribe to this channel and answer the giveaway, plus $100 bonus if you subscribe to the new channel, The Eradicators. As far as I'm concerned, I'm giving Breton names to my ship, so I'm not really worried about about my names. For example, my Mercury Star Runner is called the Qualpautre, which means the bad guy. But let me know in the comment section what is the name of your ship. That's the giveaway question. The Leaping Normal, very, very smart here.
Out to additional ships in subsequent patches. The long-awaited SDF Shields, first introduced with the NPC Idris and Javelin earlier.
Yes, we've seen that. We've seen that in the Genothreat event, and it looked fantastic. At the same time, it is also going to reduce performance issues. It is going to be less performance hungry, especially when we have lots of ships around. I'm really looking forward to that. Is it going to also get rid of shield holes? Well, shield holes. Sorry about this. Well, let's see what Jared has to say.
Earlier this quarter, now expand to all ships in the Star Citizen universe, plugging up shield holes.
There we go, right? Plugging up shield holes indeed. So this is going to be another rejoice for Constellation owners.
Providing new visual experiences that not only look better, but can help with gauging your attack effectiveness as well. And finally, in vehicle content, we've got the new Cyclone MT variant scheduled to arrive with Alpha 3.13, as well as fan favorites the
time. But let's go back here to the Tumbril, which is well, it's been introduced yesterday in yesterday's roadmap roundup. Absolutely wonderful roadmap roundup, guys. Very informative, and I think it's no, quite seriously, I think it's a shame that this is the only news, guys, in the roadmap. This is the only news that we're going to have for an entire month, because the last update was 2 weeks ago, and the next update will be in 2 weeks. In the meantime, the only thing that we hear about is this Tumbril MT, which is a shame. I wish I would have had more progress, more information about the other things that are going on. Yeah, sure, we are being told about them right here in this Inside Star Citizen patch report, but I would have liked to have more insight, more details. What about the tasks that are still happening? I know that this is also going to come in the it's also going to come in the monthly report, but maybe they could be talking about the other things that will be coming in other patches as well. No, we just had this. I can't believe that this is the only thing that has made progress in the past 2 weeks.
13 as well as fan favorites, the
Oh, finally, we get to see how it looks like with its textures. Oh, interesting colors. Are we going to have... It would be very interesting to see if we have different color patterns, because I'm not sure if this is going to be very interesting when you go, for example, to a planet like Yela. This is not really going to blend in so well, right? This is going to be great if you go to Daymar or maybe Hurston, but not necessarily Yela, or not necessarily the forests of Microtech, for example.
Tumbril Nova and Hercules Starlifter in subsequent 313X patches.
All right, so okay, so it's also coming in a 3.13X. My guess, this is something that I've been saying before, my guess is that it's coming up in May for the Invictus launch week, but could be wrong, right? But as usually this is a period which has a sales, and a new ship is already a great way to boost sales
this quarter. So what did we learn this week?
All right, well, that's pretty much it for this patch. Really looking forward to it. A shame that they did not talk about the C2 Hercules, but probably will be coming again in the 3.13.x patch, and Invictus launch week is actually in a long time. Well, that's all for this video, guys. As far as I'm concerned, I cannot wait for Star Citizen 3.13. I haven't played much 3.12 lately because all of those features here are really exciting, and it kind of makes the playing the game right now a little bit bland, knowing that it's going to be so much more interesting in just a couple of weeks. Well, that marks the end of this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. This is the Eradicator. Have a great day. I'll see you guys later. This video is brought to you by the people who support this channel on Patreon and via the join button as well. Supporters of the channel get access to lots of cool perks, such as access to my private Discord, your question answered in the show, you get to know when I'm going to play, and also you get to have a chance to influence the editorial line of the channel. Any help is appreciated, starts at just $1 a month. Thank you very much for watching. This is the Eradicator, and I'll see you guys later.